Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. Today we have got ourselves AlphaStar as per usual. At least for now, anyway. In the top left, we've got the star. There was a few PvPs to go through. But it's always going to be a good PvP when it's a Grandmaster player taking on AlphaStar. And oh my gosh, is it happening? We got two probes moving out. We have got ourselves a forge getting thrown on up. Yes, I was waiting to see if we'd get at least one more cannon rush against AlphaStar. And this Grandmaster hero, I'll say, is going to deliver. We'll see if he can cannon rush out AlphaStar or not. It seems with Cheese, the AI either holds it incredibly well, or the AI doesn't hold it easily at all. So, we'll see if AlphaStar is going to react to this. But for now, we have got no other pylon going up. There should be one getting thrown on up there, and then a complete wall up. Yes, we've got it. And so this is not good news for AlphaStar, as probes have been pulled against us. A cannon will start building probably a second, too, I imagine, for the Grandmaster player. He cancels that, throws up the gateway to actually ensure that cannon's fully walled on in, and then he'll be able to start making zealots potentially. So this is not a good spot for AlphaStar, it would seem. There's no way that all of these buildings are going to get unpowered. A pylon goes up on the high ground. As long as that stays alive, it's going to be bad news bears for AlphaStar. The clock is ticking as that cannon is going to be finishing up. That pylon on the high ground will soon provide vision to this cannon too. The zealot, unsure of what to do, eats the shot. A few probes go down. And yeah, while there was only one cannon that got up for the Grandmaster player, I'm not sure if that was his plan or not, he has got a pylon on the low ground. There we go, we see a cannon getting thrown on up, and suddenly AlphaStar is in big trouble here. I know AlphaStar does a good job preventing cannon rushes from going up, but when they actually get up, is there anything AlphaStar can do, really? A Robo is part of the choice for AlphaStar. The Zealot is going to target this cannon, realizing that it's out of range of that other building cannon. So, yeah, that's actually good for AlphaStar. Canceling one of those is huge, but if we take a look at the problem right now, that gateway is about to be targeted down. The Stalker actually just gets canceled. It will not be released. We have got 2 shield batteries going on up for AlphaStar, which is an absolute must. The Zealot going to skirmish with probe support, push back the Grandmaster player's Zealot. Actually doing a good job there is AlphaStar. However, it's taken a long time for this Robo to get up, and that's all AlphaStar has to rely on in this situation. It's all going to be on getting out an Immortal to push back these cannons, and it's looking like it's possible. Is there going to be an Immortal building? There we go, it's building, but oh no, AlphaStar's supply block, that's a disaster. If you're AlphaStar right now, I think you even kill one of your own workers if you can, because you just need to get out that Immortal right away. 2 Zealots are now coming in for the Grandmaster player, and the delay on this Immortal is so huge. AlphaStar, I guess, not knowing the trick to kill one of your own workers to make sure you get something out in a very critical situation. The Zealot's being microed very well by AlphaStar. 2 against 1 is not a fair fight, but with the shield battery support, the Grandmaster player is holding on. The problem is he's barely mining. Or AlphaStar is holding on, but is barely mining down to 14 workers. Every time the cannon kills off one, that number just gets less and less. The Immortal is about to pop out, however, for AlphaStar, and that's a huge deal. The Zealot has gone down. The Immortal is now out, and with shield battery support, there should be no way that this is going to die. The cannons alone cannot take on an Immortal, but look at the follow-up from the Grandmaster player. The big brain play, threw up a Cybercore behind this, has been getting up a Stargate. It's not a proxy Stargate, so it'll take a while for whatever to get out there. But there's no gateway up for AlphaStar, so the AI is going to be in quite a bit of trouble, I think, here. We'll see how AlphaStar is going to follow up after this. I mean, killing off those probes will be nice. That is good. That is a good start. However, and getting that cannon is also very nice. However, yeah, the lack of anti-air could really bite AlphaStar. Of course, the shield batteries will help, but there's already a second Oracle out on the way, and a shield battery only does so well against an Oracle. These gateways are being picked off. Yeah, that's not good for AlphaStar, this situation. So the Grandmaster player doing a very good job following this off. If he waited for 2 Oracles, I think he'd just win the game, but I guess he wants to try and get damage done now. And he's definitely going to get at least something. He's actually targeting an Immortal. Now, that seems like a very odd decision. Immortals have a lot of HP for an Oracle to go through. That seems like a mistake. These probes need to run to the shield battery for safety. AlphaStar is losing critical workers, but that Oracle is out of energy temporarily. It builds up energy once again, but it's got to wait a little bit longer so it can actually kill off some probes. A Void Ray is now on the way for the Grandmaster player. That's a very wise decision, and as his second Oracle does show up, I think AlphaStar is in quite a bit of trouble here. There's not much back at home for the Grandmaster player if these Immortals could get across the map, but I think AlphaStar is derping around a little bit. Very unsure of what to do in this situation. The lack of anti-air isn't really computing. Like, there's no choice but to run here, AlphaStar. The Immortals are no help in this situation, so I'd say just get those across the map and pray. But with 1 Void Ray already out for the Grandmaster player, a Nexus up at the natural base, I think AlphaStar has been successfully cheesed out, and that we're actually going to start this video off with a human win. A Grandmaster player taking down AlphaStar with a dirty, dirty cannon rush. Ladies and gentlemen, seeing as how there's been 5 cannons in this game, or 6 cannons in this game, 5 or 6, 3 dead, we got 1 building, and we got 1 out. Okay, yeah, 5 cannons. Let's try and hit 5 likes on this video, and let's jump into the next game here. Okay, so here we are into the next match. Yeah, let's see if humanity is able to take a series against the best AlphaStar. That would be impressive. I think that it's going to be a bit tougher for this guy, though, as we've got AlphaStar playing Zerg, and a Terran player going to be trying to take on AlphaStar in what seems to be a straight-up game so far. The fact that there's no proxy barracks going up yet makes me think that, yeah, AlphaStar is going to have a hard time, or this guy's going to have a hard time taking down AlphaStar, this Masters player, as AlphaStar is really darn good, guys. And I know that APM is definitely not... Okay, his APM's going up. It's not an indicative feature, but we'll see. He's actually got higher APM than AlphaStar. But when I was checking it at first and he was cruising at like 60 APM, I was like, anyway. Yeah, we see hatchery first for AlphaStar. We've got a Rax popping on it for the Terran player. And I wonder what build he's going to choose against the AI. I think if you're Terran and you want to pick a build to win against AlphaStar, probably Battlecruiser Rush, as the AI, as we saw in that last game, has a hard time understanding the concept of an air unit. As, yeah, like, that prism was just going back and forth, like, I can help, guys, I can help. No, you can't help, you can't shoot up. Unless the Immortal, like, hangs onto the prism with 1 arm and then shoots with the other while it's in the air, on level with the Void Ray. I think it can't do anything. So, yeah, I do think that a BC Rush is probably the best build to do against AlphaStar, because it's like such... It's a gimmick, basically. The way a battlecruiser works, in a sense. Like, some units just require a very specific response, and any other response is garbage. So, for example, a Spore Crawler can't deal with a battlecruiser. A Spore Crawler and a couple Queens definitely can. But then, say, 4 Queens can't deal with a battlecruiser, depending on their energy, but generally they can't. And then, so, if you think about it like that, 5 Queens, all of a sudden, you can shoo away a BC. Whereas 4 is garbage against a BC, I think. I'm not sure on those exact numbers, but that's the example. And oh, we do have something a little bit different from the Masters player. Going to be playing a 3-rack style. Making a Marine, getting up his 2 additional barracks, and this is quite odd. Going for a 3-racked play against Zerg. It's been a hot minute since I've seen something like this. I mean, I understand the style, and I guess it is just going to be like right into that stim Marine sort of play. Maybe it's going to be like a combat shield push that guys like Bomber have done. But yeah, the Reaper runs in for the Masters player. Just going to be seeing this going up. He planned on starting a bunker, but then he canceled it upon the scout. The Reaper is being pursued. Does it get on out? Looks like it does, so that's good for the Masters player, keeping that alive. And then we've just got these extra barracks finishing on up too. What's he gonna do with them? Looks like the choice is double tech lab, so yeah, it's gonna be stim and combat shield for the Masters player. And he's just gonna be trying like a YOLO timing, I guess, against AlphaStar. That's pretty unique. And Yeah, that's pretty darn unique, and we'll see if the AlphaStar is good at defending against this, because I guess one of the main things that has become more noticeable as I've watched more and more AlphaStar is that if it's not something the AI would have commonly been trained against, like, say in the AlphaStar training battle, where the AlphaStar played, I think it was tens of thousands of games, or hundreds of thousands, millions of games, a lot of games, to basically reinforce that AI learning. Whether there was even an agent that did a push like this, or anything remotely similar to this. And that'll depend on AlphaStar's, that'll basically help determine AlphaStar's reaction to this. And so all of a sudden, we'll see if the AI is going to be ready to defend against an attack like this. We've already got a 4th base on the way. That is darn greedy, AlphaStar. That is not what we wanted to see. The AI has had an Overlord, but the Overlord hasn't gone in, and so AlphaStar is playing very blind. And all of a sudden, there could be like not a trillion, but maybe like a billion Marines shows up on AlphaStar's door. There's going to be a factory follow-up to this, but that is very much a follow-up. This is quite an odd push. Stimmed Marines, Combat Shield. I guess AlphaStar was played before there was actually the buff to this kind of style. And so that's something to consider here, that the Masters player definitely won't have Stim, as Stim was shortened by 20 seconds. And so yeah, he probably would have had, or been near Stim anyway, by the time that this push hits. But he's just going to have to settle with Combat Shield, settle with a Bio follow-up right after this. We'll see, though, if AlphaStar even has what it takes to defend this. We've got 21 Marines moving across the map versus 18 Zerglings. I don't know if you guys know the exact math on that or not, and I'm sure you do after what you guys have probably watched a ton of Starcraft, but yeah. When there's pretty much as many Marines as there is Lings, that's good for the Terran. However, AlphaStar has made more Lings. These are Combat Shield Marines, so they don't have Stim, so we'll see how exactly is this going to work out. The Marines are getting surrounded pretty darn well, and they accidentally targeted the hatchery for a second there, so rather poor control, but then they tucked themselves into a real nice spot behind this 3rd base. Whether they're actually going to get like any significant damage done, as he targets the Queen very oddly, the answer is definitely a no. The Terran player behind this is going to have a follow-up with just more bio, I guess. But yeah, this seems to be quite good for AlphaStar. The lack of any upgrades like +1 or anything for the Masters player is really concerning. The Lings do get shooed away by this guy, but this does look pretty darn great for the AI. We've got +1 Carapace on the way for AlphaStar now. And we have got a Roach Warren 2, the 4th base that the AI snuck up as well, keep in mind. So the AI with 4 bases by the 6-minute mark is doing pretty darn well. This time the push is gonna have Stim Pack. It is gonna have Medivacs joining up with this, so AlphaStar will have to be careful about that. But as long as the AI just makes a bunch of Lings, maybe some of these Roaches will help out too. I think the AI will be fine, as this isn't like a super critical amount of bio. There's the Medivacs now coming across the map, boosting to get there as quick as possible. We'll see, can this push make anything work? Army supplies 41 to 49. A scan goes down, but Terran player a little bit cautious before diving on creep. This is why Terran usually has Widow Mines, because if a Zerg and a Terran face off, and it's just a pure numbers game, that's really darn good. That's really, really darn good for the Zerg, unless there's any AoE involved. Now, we're going to be seeing the Masters player try and sort of out-multitask AlphaStar here. It's a bold attempt, but this is kind of the thing that Terrans will do when they're really desperate. And I know this because I've been a desperate Terran in the past, trying to take on a Zerg who's got much more of an army and a better economy than me. And so we see this first drop being attempted, it gets shut down. This one at the natural is doing better, but it hasn't really killed any workers. The Masters player not doing the best job controlling this drop. I mean, he's skirmishing with the Ravagers, but yeah, that's not too good. The game's going to continue on. The Masters player is getting his 3rd base up. He's got his E-base up. One of them's researching +1. And now he is starting to get up Widow Mines, but I'm still not too comfortable for him. He wants to get drones, and now we're going to finally see him grab a few as he charges into the natural, but literally just a couple of drones. The drop moves into the main base. AlphaStar going to target down those Medivacs like a boss. This bio is going to aim for that Queen. Does at least get her, but definitely not worth the full Medivac, worth a bio. The drop being attempted at the natural once again. AlphaStar's kind of getting kept at home, but it's AlphaStar, so I mean, it's making drones, it's making units perfectly behind this. The money isn't floating at all. The Masters player, he's going to move out once again to give this another try. But this time he's down on upgrades, he's down on supply. This could be bad. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Masters player really can do in this game. I think the only choice is to stay back and turtle up, as is the best strategy against AlphaStar. He's stepping on to creep, though, and that's really making me nervous. 104 supply to 58. AlphaStar has definitely got the numbers to deal with this. Some of the bios stepping on to creep, it's really like an awkward split, but there's just so many lings that you don't want to be split up. You'll just be surrounded and killed, and that's what's going to happen to those poor Marines and Marauders. There's all the Widow Mines there for the Masters player, but yeah, he's kind of bashing his head against a wall, and nothing's happening. You know what the Masters player is doing right now? He's pushing on a pull door. It's just not going to happen. AlphaStar having some really interesting ways of dealing with those Widow Mines. That was a bit of a derp. In, out, drop Crucible on it, charge in anyway. I think hit some of your own units with that Crucible, but yeah, this ain't looking good for the Masters player. His economy's alright, but he just doesn't have the units. He's thrown away so many this game. 47 Marines, 10 Marauders dead by the 9-minute mark. That's a lot of stuff to trade out. Widow Mine drop is being attempted, but yeah, this ain't looking too hot here for the Masters player. He's got his +1 attack. He's got a third base, but it's not a planetary to help him out. Now AlphaStar is doing classic Alpha Zerg stuff, which it just charges in with a ton of Roaches and Ravagers, and I think we're going to be looking at a dead nerd here. There's a drop on the 5th base of AlphaStar that will be killed off, so I think that's pretty much the first real damage the Masters player has got done. He's going to try and kite against this, but while the choke point's... Okay, the choke point's pretty good for him, but his third base is pretty much ransacked. So the Masters player lives on. If he knew that he was playing against AlphaStar, I'd say he's got a definite chance, just due to how the AI doesn't understand the late game. But for now, it's just not looking good for the Masters player. And against any normal Zerg, he knows he's dead. And that's the funny thing. AlphaStar definitely has an advantage because not everyone knows too much about AlphaStar, nor did they know they were playing AlphaStar. And so GG gets called as AlphaStar ties up the series. Yeah. The Masters player, he tried, but AlphaStar was just better. That was it. Okay, so we have got ourselves a tied series. I wish we had more of these. More importantly, I wish we actually had like more players with series against AlphaStar. I know that we had TLO at first playing AlphaStar, and he got wrecked because the AI had unlimited APM, and that he was kind of playing in questionable way as his off-race Protoss. And then we had Mana, who got beaten in fairness, but I think he did kind of play partially to AlphaStar's strength. However, no, the AI did kind of just outskill Mana a little bit. And then, yeah, we didn't really have too many other series against AlphaStar, and so right now, I'm almost regretting the fact that I didn't go to BlizzCon 2019 just for the explicit purpose of playing AlphaStar non-stop. Anyway, we have got ourselves a Grandmaster Zerg taking on AlphaStar in a ZVZ to see who's gonna win one of these final series. I checked the replay count. We got like 28-ish replays left to go or something, guys. It's been going down quickly. It's crazy. I never thought. But yeah, I will be doing the AlphaStar, I think TLO, AlphaStar Mana replays, just for the fun of it, just to have a little bit extra AlphaStar, even though I know lots of people already covered those. And now if we take a look, we have got ourselves this Grandmaster player who actually went for a pool first, so gonna put a bit of pressure on AlphaStar, whereas AlphaStar's just opening up normally. Now, this is not the I want you to die, die, die pool, this is more of the, oh, wait a second. Is he gonna, like, walk a spine across the map or something? What part of... And then he starts, like, gas on the low ground? What? What in tarnation is this Grandmaster Zerg doing? The gas on the low ground I can't really explain unless it was to free up supply or something. But... what? Is he gonna use it to, like, group up all of his drones or something? Or is it... he just wants a low ground gas? That is so weird. A low ground gas and then a spine crawler on the high ground. He made 2 lings. to scout out AlphaStar. This Grandmaster is playing weird. As a human, I really can't understand what he's doing. As AlphaStar, I can't even imagine if the AI really cares what he's doing, because AlphaStar is going to do one of its classic roach attacks, it seems, or its classic roach fake-out. The final iteration of AlphaStar quite a bit does actually have the roach horn very early on, but then actually goes up to a pretty decent drone count. So, yeah, let's take a look here. The spine is out, which is just so odd for the GM player. I guess it gives him safety. The low ground gas thing is just really bizarre too. I'm not sure what that's about. Whether it's like a deny scouting kind of thing or what. He's gonna throw up a solid wall with the spine behind it, which is gonna be very nice on the defensive front, but he scouted the roach horn. So he knows that AlphaStar is potentially gonna be making roaches. And, fires up a bunch of drones. He's got his own roach horn on the way, and now he's attacking his own creep tumor. What was that for? What did it possibly do to deserve that? What does he want to build there? I don't even think the creep tumor was blocking the Evo. Oh, this Grandmaster player is making me confused. But anyway, yeah, big attack from AlphaStar. The AI is actually going balls to the wall with this one. And the GM player has gone for a solid wall. He's got a spine on the way. He's got a finished up roach warren, but I see no roaches in his production tab. He knows this attack is coming. He starts up yet another spine, and now he's making roaches, but is it just me, or do those roaches seem a little overdue against this kind of pressure? The spines I'm all right with, but yeah, this is a very odd spot because the Grandmaster's kind of sealed himself into his base like a crazy man in the 1960s seals himself into his nuclear bunker. But we'll see how this is going to work out. AlphaStar's got to break through the Evo chamber, but the problem is the spines can be corrosive bile down. The Grandmaster player can micro these back against the corrosive bile if the situation allows, but when all the roaches are in its face, it doesn't really allow for that. The roach horn of the Grandmaster player is now under fire. He hasn't made another roach horn. He's drastically supply blocked. Yeah, he's drastically supply blocked. He's got a lot of money he's floating right now. I think the Grandmaster player is just getting rolled. Yeah, this makes me curious. Like, very curious. What is this GM player doing? He fires up 28 lings, but okay, he did actually get ling speed. I mean, he might hold. It's gonna be kind of close, but the spine will die. A transfuse goes down on it to keep it alive, but the corrosive bile finishes it off. There's the 28 lings finishing on up, but they're just gonna all rally out like one at a time. There we go. Now they're all grouped up, but there's too many Ravagers, I feel, to deal with this. This Grandmaster Zerg just played the most confusing ZVZ of my life. It was crazy build into death. It makes me wonder if this guy was like off racing or if he's just one of those people that tries to be as creative as possible. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, slap that like button. If you're new to the channel, join the Discord. That's linked in the description down below. You click that, you join the Discord, you hang out. There's announcements and stuff for upcoming tournaments and things. Consider becoming a member if you do want to support the channel, and if you aren't a subscriber and you made it all the way to the end of the video, please do consider subscribing, as it does let you know whenever I put up a video, and it's good for both of us. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. This has been LaughNgamez.